राह रास्त आपको चलेंगे। इस वक्त सुप्रीम कोर्ट में ता हयात नाअहली केस की समाअत जारी है।
7 or 184(3).
Please proceed with your case.
My lord. My lord, I have 4 submissions.
जी
अपना नंबर दे दे पटिशन का।
सिविल अपील 880
Civil Appeal 88
respondent voluntary
0.
जी
My first submission is the court of law mentioned in Article Supreme Court in its appellate jurisdiction. I'll just submit the brief as well.
जी
The declaration mentioned under section 160 or section 62(1)(f) is outside section 42 of the Specific Relief Act, because Specific Relief Act puts a certain conditions
जी
to obtain declaration. It has been held by the superior courts that the proceedings under section 42 are not exhaustive. Courts can issue declaration without satisfying the conditions under section 42.
ठीक
I rely on 2 case laws.
जी
One is AIR 1967 Supreme Court 436.
AIR
67 Supreme Court 436.
जी 11
my lord.
जी
It says, in our opinion, section 42 of the Specific Relief Act is not exhaustive of the cases in which a declaratory decree may be made, and the courts have power to grant such a decree independently of the requirements of the section. The same view has been expressed by Mr. Justice Mansoor Ali Shah while sitting as judge of the Lahore High Court in PLD 2010, Lahore 583.
जी
That is para 24, my lord.
In the Indian Supreme Court judgment,
My lord,
you have read this line that section 42 is not exhaustive.
not exhaustive.
So let me just ask the question. Is it not exhaustive in terms of the Specific Relief Act or exhaustive with regard to constitutional jurisdiction as well? I mean, you've just read that line and I can go along with that. The section 42 may not cater for all eventualities.
My lord.
The question here is not just that, but it is a question whether the declaration that is being envisaged,
My lord.
can it be a declaration by a constitutional court, for instance?
It can be declaration by constitutional courts as well.
Does this judgment say that? The one that
It does not talk about constitutional court, but the judgment now I am referring, it talks about constitutional court as well.
ठीक नहीं, कोई सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट नहीं है इस पे।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट इस पे नहीं है।
अच्छा
42 आपका मतलब है तमाम कोर्ट्स पर एप्लीकेबल है।
मैं ये कहता हूँ कि 42 is applicable to civil court, but civil court can also give declaration without satisfying the requirement of section 42. Similarly, other courts can also give
The
declaration.
High Court in this case was following the Supreme Court precedents already settled. So is there a Supreme Court judgment on this point?
There is a Supreme Court judgment, my lord.
ठीक अच्छा नेक्स्ट पॉइंट आपका
I will read para 24 of Lahore's judgment.
That is taking cognizance of the High Courts are bound by judgments of the Supreme Court. So there is no question about that. The High Court had to follow it. But now we are the Supreme Court and a larger bench.
My lord.
Ji.
Now,
The next point.
next point is a court of law has not been defined in Article 62 or anywhere else in the Constitution. But superior courts has held that it's a court of plenary jurisdiction. That is PLD 2017, Supreme Court 265.
Can you repeat the citation?
PLD 2017, Supreme Court 265. That is at page 490.
490.
490, my lord.
Ji.
It's in the second part of the page. It starts with the expression "a court of law" has not been defined in Article 62.
Which placidum are you referring to?
Double S, my lord.
Double S. Ji.
From the middle.
Ji. Read it.
The expression "a court of law" has not been defined in Article 62 or any other provision of the Constitution, but it essentially means a court of plenary jurisdiction which has the power to record evidence and give a declaration on the basis of the evidence so recorded. Such a court would include a court exercising original, appellate, or revisional jurisdiction in civil and criminal cases. But in any case, a court or a forum lacking plenary jurisdiction cannot decide question of this nature, at least when disputed.
What is plenary jurisdiction?
Plenary literal meaning is a court exercising full powers. All the powers.
Plenary action has been exercised under Section 42. If you mean to say that Section 42 of the Specific Relief Act can be exercised by the High Court under Article 199
No, my
and
lord.
184 and 185 by the Supreme Court.
No, my lord.
So declaration means for all such type of declarations, the case must be under Section 42 or not?
It need not to be under Section 42.
Then-
that is my submission.
Then how the declaration can be granted in any other law?
Declaration can only be granted by election tribunal. That is my submission.
It means that it exercises the jurisdiction under Section 42.
Not under 42. Under Representation of People's Act or Election Act. That is the only form.
And after recording evidence or without
After
recording
recording
evidence?
evidence, after framing issues, now I will come to the power of the election tribunal.
This can be exercised by the High Court directly
It cannot be exercised by
and
the
the
High Court.
Supreme Court directly.
No, my lord. Supreme Court in appellate jurisdiction.
Your last argument is in contradiction with the judgment you have relied. 490 पे आइए दोबारा.
My lord.
जहाँ से पढ़ा था उससे 2 लाइनें ऊपर. Even the election tribunal,
Even the election tribunal, unless it itself proceeds to give the requisite declaration on the basis of the material before it, would not disqualify the return campaign where no declaration as mentioned above have been given by a court of law. Now I will demonstrate how I say election tribunal is court of plenary jurisdiction.
नहीं
बताएं, provisions
आपको
बताएं ना।
कहा कि वो नहीं है, वो भी नहीं कर सकता unless by the court of law.
Let me explain the formation and the power of election tribunal.
आपका आर्ग्यूमेंट ये हुआ ना कि सिर्फ प्लेनरी जुरिस्डिक्शन के कोर्ट्स डिक्लेरेशन दे सकते हैं और आप कहते हैं कि अदर देन द नॉर्मल रेगुलर प्लेनरी कोर्ट लाइक सिविल कोर्ट्स एंड ऑल द इलेक्शन ट्राइब्यूनल आल्सो फॉल्स इन दैट कैटेगरी. दिस इज योर आर्ग्यूमेंट.
This is my argument. I
पावर
also say
बताइए
that
कौन से सेक्शन में ये पावर
in constitutional jurisdiction,
शो अस द प्लीज प्रोविजंस ऑफ द लॉ. इलेक्शन एक्ट में कौन
My
से
lord.
प्रोविजंस है डिक्लेरेटरी जुरिस्डिक्शन एक्सरसाइज करने की?
my lord, उसमें मैं आ रहा हूँ. Basically, election tribunal is constituted.
No, election tribunal is a different thing. आपने कहा ना election commission भी एक power exercise.
I'm saying election tribunal.
Election tribunal की जो power है वो तो फिर civil court के power हैं उसके पास सारे.
Yes, my lord.
They can exercise the civil court powers and they can record evidence because
My lord.
before declaring any person disqualified, they must
They have not true. The provisions
But this debate won't resolve what the problem before us is. Let us not go into the powers of the election tribunal. Here, the power is, it's not a question of election tribunal exercising a power or election commission exercising a power. It's the power being exercised by a constitutional court. Now, you premised your argument by saying court of law is not defined anywhere in the constitution. Can I first of all correct your premise and take you to Article 175 of the Constitution? If you read the Constitution provision, the chapter is titled The Courts. And now please read 175.1 and then 175.2. So I may be subject to correct.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट में ताहयात नाअहली की मुद्दत के तायुन से मुतल्लिक केस की समाअत इस वक्त जारी है।
फिर तो आप you are not supporting Samila Baloch. Then you're not supporting Samila Baloch.
To some extent, I am, because in most of the cases, disqualification arose out of election tribunal. In some cases, they arose out of writ jurisdiction. In some cases, they arose out of pre-election dispute.
You are only supporting those.
I am only supporting those cases where they have gone through the trial.
Okay, ठीक है. I got
They
the
have
point.
recorded evidence.
Got that point.
Got the point. ठीक है.
तो आप कहते हैं कि प्री इलेक्शन वो नहीं आ सकते,
वो नहीं आ सकते because there is no evidence recorded.
तो सिर्फ लिमिटेड हो गया ना, सिर्फ इलेक्शन ट्राइब्यूनल से जो अराइज कर रहा है।
My lord.
अब हम ड्यूरेशन की बात करते हैं।
पहले बस ये क्लैरिटी आ गई ना, इसीलिए पूछा था आपसे कि जरा वो आर्ग्यूमेंट कुछ
तो मैं इसमें सेक्शन 64 में पावर ऑफ द ट्रिब्यूनल है, इट हैज ऑल द पावर ऑफ अ सिविल कोर्ट।
वो ठीक है, I got it now.
अब आगे मैं सिर्फ ये दिखा दूं, ग्राउंड्स फॉर डिक्लेयरिंग इलेक्शन ऑफ रिटर्न्ड कैंडिडेट वॉइड, दैट इज अंडर सेक्शन 68. व्हाट एन इलेक्शन ट्रिब्यूनल कैन डू,
State of ROPA.
that is section 68. The tribunal shall declare the election of the returned candidate to be void if it is satisfied that the nomination of the returned candidate was invalid, the returned candidate was not on the nomination day qualified for or disqualified from being elected as a member.
Wait a minute. On the date of submission of nomination paper, he was not. So it means before presenting the papers, there must be some declaration that the person was not qualified.
My lord.
And in result thereof, his nomination papers should have been rejected straight away.
That can only happen.
That can happen at the first stage when
That's
the
what I'm
nomination
saying.
papers are submitted.
That is my, and that is also my
And
argument.
secondly, after election, post-election,
Yes.
the tribunal can de-seat the candidate on the basis that prior to election you were disqualified.
That is my second argument when I'll distinguish between Article 62 and Article
My
63.
question is whether under 62, whether somebody can be disqualified. Or 62 says if somebody is earlier disqualified, so his paper should be rejected.
He has to be earlier qualified on the date of the nomination paper.
So 62 does not clearly say that the person who is scrutinizing the documents has the power to disqualify somebody.
The date is the nomination date.
Anyway, we've understood that point.
My lord.
If I can just re-articulate my colleague's question, this 68, I've just run through it.
My lord.
It talks about disqualification.
My lord.
The nomination paper आपने दिया, I'm the returning officer or the election commission or the election tribunal, I say you're disqualified for you're 24 years of age, for instance, you can't contest election. ठीक है? You are a bankrupt, you can't contest election. You have not paid your bijli ka bill, you have not contest. You're not a graduate, etc., etc., etc. This paper gets rejected. Where is the power of the commission or the tribunal to say that you're disqualified for life? The next election comes along, you are disqualified in this election, you again present your paper. I again look at your papers and again I find, no, you are not qualified for these reasons. How an earlier disqualification, suppose now I'm 25 years of age, suppose I filed 24, naturally I can't contest elections. Or I'm a bankrupt, now I'm not a bankrupt, or I'm a loan defaulter, I've repaid entire loan, or I've not paid my electricity bill, I've repaid everything. So that will not travel through. Where is section 68 say that once disqualified, you are disqualified for life? Where is that provision? That provision has only been inserted by Samiullah Baloch.
That's what I'm saying, that for the time being, I am just arguing on one point, that is who can give the declaration of
I
disqualification.
agree with you.
First,
There is no dispute on
second
that.
thing is, to answer my Lord's question, I have to create a distinction between 62 and 63. That is my second submission.
No, first of all, where is the power in the court, in this court to do this? That is the essential question.
Court has to determine whether he was qualified on the day of
ठीक है।
nomination under 62, 63.
वो रिजेक्ट कर देना उसके, और अगर उसने गलत बयानी से किया उसको रिजेक्ट कर
हो गया।
बट नेक्स्ट इलेक्शन जब आ रहा है तो हाउ इज ही स्टिल डिस्क्वालिफाइड, ये बताए नसरे पॉइंट।
Now I will come to answer this question. I will come to my second.
देखिए एक आदमी ने एक रोपा में चेंज हुआ कि जी ग्रेजुएट होना चाहिए, एक ग्रेजुएट नहीं उसने दरखास्त फाइल कर दी, वो मेट्रिकुलेट है, नेचुरली ही विल बी डिस्क्वालिफाइड। अगले इलेक्शन में ये कंडीशन है ही नहीं, तो ही कांट बी अ लाइफ टाइम बार, इट्स इलॉजिकल।
That's what I'm saying. Article 62 may, if there is a declaration, that person is not honest. Why he was not honest? Because in my case,
Now you've taken a leap of faith.
no, my lord.
No, लेकिन अब आ जाती बात ये leap of faith वाली. So you are saying honest. Now honest. Suppose. Okay, let's take another case. Make it simple. He honestly declares in his nomination papers that he's a matriculate. He honestly declares in his paper that he's 16 years of age. Honestly, उसने लिखा 16 साल का हूँ. Consequence तो वही होगा ना.
My lord, if he is not 16 years of
भाई वो कह रहा है मैं हूँ 16 साल का.
if he is not 16 years of age and he is 14 years of age,
आप बात नहीं समझ रहे हैं ना.
My lord.
25 साल का सिर्फ लड़ सकता है ना इलेक्शन. वो सचमुच कहता है मैं 16 साल का हूँ, वो सचमुच कहता है मैं ग्रेजुएट ना हूँ. आप इसको नेचुरली कांट कंटेस्ट
he
इलेक्शन.
can't contest election.
सो ये जो ऑनेस्टी और डिसऑनेस्टी वाली बात तो बिकम्स इरेलेवेंट. इट्स अ फैक्चुअल डिटर्मिनेशन.
That's what I'm saying. Fact. Who has to do the factual determination?
चलिए ओके आगे बढ़े. मैं
Only election tribunal through recording of evidence.
We've understood the first point, please.
Now my
Move on
second
to the
point.
next point, please, the duration part.
इसी पे देखें ना, जो फर्स्ट आपने कहा कि प्री इलेक्शन जो उसकी नॉमिनेशन पेपर की रिजेक्शन है, दैट डज नॉट कवर द ग्राउंड्स मेंशन्ड इन 68. वो तो होने ही आफ्टर द इलेक्शन है.
After the election.
तो इसलिए वो तो जस्ट रिजेक्शन ऑफ द पेपर्स
that's
एज पर योर आर्गुमेंट्स.
That is my argument.
कोई डिक्लेरेशन कोई फर्दर
वो क्वालिफाइड था या नहीं था पहली डेट के ऊपर, वो तो रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर ने चेक करना है ना. अगर रिजेक्ट होगा तो अपील हो जाएगी, अगर कोई अपोज करेगा तो भी अपील हो जाएगी, ठीक है ना. मगर बात क्वेश्चन इज दिस के आफ्टर सेवरल इयर्स वो कहेंगे इवन एट द टाइम ऑफ फाइलिंग योर नॉमिनेशन पेपर यू वर डिस्क्वालिफाइड. दैट डिक्लेरेशन इज टू बी गिवन बाय विच कोर्ट?
Election tribunal.
इलेक्शन ट्रिब्यूनल.
We've understood that, Mr. Gaurav.
चलो
Now I will.
Gaurav, let's proceed further.
एक बात इसमें और बता दें. इलेक्शन ट्रिब्यूनल क्या डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन 60 आर्टिकल 63 से हट कर दे सकती है? और अगर कोई डिक्लेरेशन वो कर दे कि इज डिस्क्वालिफाइड और वो डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन 63 में नहीं आता,
नहीं दे
क्या उसकी बुनियाद पर
नहीं दे
फॉर इवन फॉर सिंगल डे ही कैन बी बार्ड फ्रॉम कंटेस्टिंग?
Election tribunal has to decide on the basis of 62 for qualification.
No,
and
disqualification is 63. This is clear. If any declaration is made by the tribunal, which is not in accordance with Article 63, whether on that basis, even on the declaration of tribunal, somebody can be debarred from life or even for a day.
No, my lord. Without trial cannot.
When trial is conducted, the tribunal come to the
Even after trial, it cannot.
वो कह देता है कि disqualified.
Without the ground given in 63, he cannot.
Mr. Puram, could we just summarize what's happened? Your submission is that, first of all, disqualification can only come through a plenary court of plenary jurisdiction, plus the election tribunal and the appellate forum hearing that election tribunal's appeal. That's one. And declaration cannot come from any other
Small
source.
change here.
मैं कुछ और कहना चाहता
My lord.
So this we've understood. I'm just saying that the premises on which Samuel Baloch proceeds is that once that declaration is in the field, that you're disqualified.
My lord.
Unless that declaration is set aside, you remain disqualified. That's the premise of Samuel Baloch,
My
number
lord.
one. Number two, Samuel Baloch also says that declaration is not right in your face, saying that you infer from the circumstances of the case. For example, वो कहेंगे कि आपने misdeclaration की है, इससे infer कर रहे हैं आप honest नहीं हैं. Because nobody is directly इस पे तो evidence नहीं ना आप honest है, I mean आप infer कर रहे हैं. That's what Samuel Baloch also says. So you construct it, you say कि आपका form गलत था, आपका ये गलत था, इससे हम construct ये करते हैं कि आप अमीन नहीं हैं. These are the two premises on which Samuel Baloch proceeds. Now we just need to understand whether at all the fact that the disqualification stands can continue forever, and if that disqualification was taken into a criminal proceedings and he went through age 63 age and went through a actual conviction, he comes back, and there are a number of other offences where he commits even a heinous crime, he comes back. तो बस इसका हमें आप बताइएगा कि the fact that Samuel Baloch goes on the premise that declaration on the civil side done will continue as long as that declaration is set aside.
My lord has properly rephrased Samuel Baloch, but my argument is a bit different from that.
Right.
My argument is any declaration coming from a high court in a constitutional
We
jurisdiction.
understood, that's not a declaration, so that's all
not a
those
declaration.
declarations
So
are
the
out.
only court of plenary jurisdiction is elected.
Understood, आगे चले.
Now, the whole argument revolves around whether Article 62 and 63 are inherently same or distinct. If they are inherently same, they can be used interchangeably. Then we can interpret 62(1)(f) in view of 63(1)(h). But if they are distinct, then we cannot interpret these two. We cannot try to resolve the ambiguity. So I have to demonstrate that Article 62 is distinct than Article 63.
Is it not dependent? Article 62 is not dependent upon 63.
No, my lord. How do I demonstrate that? If I just go to Article 62, it says, a person shall not be qualified to be elected or chosen as a member of Majlis Shura unless it talks about an event prior to the election.
Yes, yes, yes.
थोड़ा जल्दी करें ना, पढ़ चुके हैं.
Yesterday.
My lord, 63.
I don't see much turning on your point, but chale proceed with it.
A person shall be disqualified from being elected or chosen as and from being a member of Majlis Shura if in 63 after the election, after the he becomes member, the event, any of the event given in 63 can trigger and he can be disqualified. But in 62, after he has
Election की आप बात
no
कर रहे हैं.
event subsequent to the nomination can disqualify him.
I don't agree with you. Because if that is the case, then a non-citizen can contest elections, which is not provided for in 63, which is only provided for in 62. So I don't think this, जो आपने distinction draw की है, I don't think anything turns on it.
My lord, 62
He says he's
Sari
a citizen of
language.
Pakistan. This provision is not found mentioned in 63. Suppose a non-citizen files in a nomination papers and somehow gets elected. So you mean to say that challenge cannot be made about him? I would not agree with that proposition.
My lord, because entire
yeah.
section of 62 has to be read in view of the opening clause. Article. It says a person shall not be qualified to be elected or chosen.
कुछ शुरू ही तो नहीं था.
Court where he was declared non-righteous.
So what are the likelihood?
No, ये बात आपकी sorry doesn't hold any water. Let's read first disqualification. He is a citizen of Pakistan. Suppose Mr. James Gray from America comes and contests, born American citizens, never been a Pakistani citizens and gets elected. Please wait. Now go to 63(1)(c). He ceases to be a citizen of Pakistan. That is, a person was a citizen of Pakistan, has now taken on citizenship of America. So you are saying, yes, once that somehow Mr. James Gray got elected, you can't touch him now. ये sorry to say, ये आप ऐसा distinction not draw करें.
My lord, I am not saying this.
Mr. Khurram, there's one way of looking at it. Just read the first line of 62 and the first line of 63. It will show to you that it's interchangeable. There is hardly any difference. जरा पढ़ें. A person shall not
be qualified
to be elected. रुक जाएं. आप 63 पढ़ें.
A person shall not be
disqualified
from being
person
elected.
shall be disqualified
From being elected. So
From
both
being
are
elected.
happening before the election has taken place.
Elected or
word is-
chosen.
हाँ.
वही बात है.
दोनों चीजें एक है.
फर्क नहीं पड़ना.
Disqualified or qualified है, but it's synonymous. I mean, it makes no
मतलब
difference.
63 का जो second
तो फर्क क्या पड़ना है इस आर्ग्यूमेंट से आपके? How will it support you?
So because if I can convince my lordships that they are two distinct sections because of their,
Because there are two distinct sections, but what will turn on it? ये बताएं ना.
then we have to interpret 62(1)(f only.
तो वही उसी पे तो आप आपको ले जा
And we
रहे
do
हो.
not have to interpret 62(1)(f in view of 63(1)(h.
चलें 62(1)(f) को कर लेना फिर आप.
आपका आर्ग्यूमेंट ये है कि 62 and 63 are distinct articles and we cannot interchangeably read them to give them a meaning.
My lord.
So उनको separate पढ़ेंगे, उनको separate. We've understood your point.
आगे बढ़ें. थोड़ा सा स्पीड कर ले फिर. We don't want to leave this case unresolved.
10-15 more minutes. When I distinguish that they are two distinct, then we have to read 62(1)(f) on its own. Every word has to be given its meaning.
चले थोड़ा जल्दी करें.
Mission is that when we will read 62, then as long as the declaration by a court of law is in field, disqualification will remain.
Court of law declaration is the Supreme Court itself. ये point पे आ जाइए ना.
Supreme Court itself cannot give in any other jurisdiction other than in its appellate jurisdiction.
हो गया ना
from the election
आपने?
tribunal.
होगी.
अच्छा.
आपका फिर सभी वाला बलोच वाला आर्ग्यूमेंट है ना कि once the declaration is there, 62(1)(f) has to be read alone. Once the declaration stands, disqualification stands.
My lord.
And it goes on as long as the disqualification. So the question to you is that we have to look at the Constitution in totality as a whole. Does it not appear odd to you that for other crimes as big as perhaps treason in G and others, you can always come back and contest election? It's not a lifetime situation. But for a civil wrong, which could be as small as committing a misdemeanor of misdeclaration or just lying through you've omitted one entry in a return, the punishment in a way is for life. But if I were to go murder somebody, if I would commit treason, if I would do kidnapping, I could come back and contest election.
Where
from the tribunal gets the powers for life time disqualification?
It has declared.
No, where from gets the powers to declare him
Has
for life?
declared a decree given remains intact for all purposes.
Fair enough, we've understood that.
Now, this argument basically it lies in Islamic principles. If you look at PPC, out of all those offences, there are very few offences in which mens rea is dishonesty. My submission is, wherever mens rea is dishonesty, we are talking about public office holder.
जो आपने you just very casually referred to Islam, either back it up because I completely disagree with you. You have to back it up. If your contention is agreed, there were those who were violently opposed to Islam, and then they became Khalifs, Khulafai Rashideen. तो वो आ ही नहीं सकते थे फिर वापस. This just don't throw in Islam just like that. It is contrary to Islamic injunctions. तौबा का प्रिंसिपल है, राय रास्त पे प्रिंसिपल वापस आने का प्रिंसिपल है, मुस्तकीम शारे मुस्तकीम पे वापस आने का प्रिंसिपल है. ऑल शुरू में तो 2-4 ही मुसलमान थे.
I mean, we are.
तो ये आप ऐसे just don't throw in Islam to give it a validity.
No, my lord. What I am submitting is, if repentance or tawbah, when we look at it,
रिपेंटेंस और तौबा की तो बात से आगे मैं चला गया हूँ.
that's what I am submitting. These are 3 things kept by God to Himself. Number 1,
Not at all.
Izzat Zillat.
Not at all.
Let me make my submission.
No submission. You refer to the Holy Quran. You can't just make a submissions contrary to Islamic principles like this. ऐसे नहीं होगा.
Could I change the subject a little? Let me just introduce one other aspect. Let's stay on 62(1)(f). If we look at 62, some of the disqualifications or qualifications are mentioned in the Constitution itself, like he has to be a citizen, the age and all. This is specifically provided. 62(1)(f) brings in a disqualification from a declaration from another court under some law, not the Constitution. It is a declaration of disqualification under declaration of contrary under some law. And if the law parliament goes ahead and fixes that law and says any such declaration of that law has to be for 5 years, that is actually not tampering with the Constitution. It is providing that any declaration in 62(1)(f) is arising out of a law, not of the Constitution. Because court of law ne karni hai na disqualification. That disqualification is arising out of a law, and the parliament goes ahead and says any disqualification under the law has to be for 5 years. So then, with that 5 years amendment brought in, isn't the period being provided for 62(1)(f)? Because the Constitution itself doesn't give an unlimited period. It is relying on a declaration coming out of a law, and law has been corrected and given a period. So there's a distinction. Had there been a constitutional provision, disqualification like age being 25, then perhaps, to my mind, legislation could not do it through ordinary legislation. Constitutional amendment was required. But in this case, the declaration emanates from the law itself. So law is being given a certain time frame. Is pe kuch roshni dal?
My lord, it depends on the validity of the law. That's why I tried to argue that under what proceedings we are before my lordships. I rely on PLD 2012 Supreme Court 923, Baz Muhammad Kakar Federation of Pakistan. It is the case where Contempt of Court Act 2012.
आपने सारा आर्गुमेंट सुना हुआ है, proposition बता देना please.
My proposition is through ordinary law, Parliament cannot amend the Constitution.
No, fair enough.
It has not amended the
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Adding in the Constitution, because how do I demonstrate that?
Whether the court can amend the Constitution,
Court can interpret it.
interpret in a manner to amend the Constitution or to read into the Constitution.
No, my lord.
So this is what we are asking from you, whether the interpretation can be done. देखिए इसमें एक बात आप ये आप कह रहे हैं 62(1)(f) में ये बताया गया है कि डिक्लेरेशन होनी चाहिए कोर्ट से, और आपने कहा कि डिक्लेरेशन सिर्फ ट्राइब्यूनल दे सकता है। ट्राइब्यूनल अंडर सेक्शन 157 वो ग्राउंड्स बताए गए, ठीक? क्या उन ग्राउंड्स में ये बात है कि ट्राइब्यूनल इस बात पे आपको डिस्क्वालीफाई कर सकता है कि आप राइटियस नहीं हो, आपको सजेस्ट नहीं हो, आप अमीन नहीं हो, आप सादिक नहीं हो? ऐसी डिक्लेरेशन आएगी तो 162(1)(f) इस्तेमाल होगा, अदरवाइज नहीं होगा।
That's what I'm saying. That in my case, FA degree was forged, BA degree was forged. Trial के
आप हमें डिक्लेरेशन कहाँ से आया आपके केस में?
Election Tribunal.
देखिए खुरम साहब एक चीज है, देखिए स्पीकिंग फॉर माई सेल्फ देयर इज नो कंफ्यूजन इन माई माइंड दैट टू सेट aside a judgment, the premises on which that judgment stands needs to be taken away. So if the judgment stands on a law, then there could be an amendment in the law, and that foundation of that judgment on which it stands is taken away, and that judgment is nullified. If the judgment stands on the Constitution, constitutional amendment is required to take care of. There's no, as far as I'm concerned, no. I'm saying in this particular case, 62(1)(f) is not a disqualification. The judgment does not stand on 62(1)(f) as such. It stands on a declaration by a court of law.
My lord.
That declaration is not done through Constitution. That declaration must be of based on some law. That law now provides a period of 5 years for such declarations. Hence, that premise, that declaration that's coming out of a law has been given a period. So वो खत्म हो जाती बात, 5 years then plugs that problem.
Election Tribunal has to determine on the basis of qualification, disqualification given in Election Act as well as 62-63. Why I am saying is I have also appended parliamentary debate from Senate on the amendment. It's at page 28. They have admitted it's silent. Once they have admitted it's silent, the only requirement.
What do you mean? It is admitted is silent. What does this mean?
I mean, in parliamentary debate, which we can look into.
So why don't you look at the Constitution itself? I don't know. देखिए ये from Hebdo. Do you know what Hebdo was?
My lord.
One dictator.
My lord.
Throwing out everybody.
My lord.
Followed by another dictator. Throwing out everybody. Followed by a third dictator. Throwing out everybody. Are you forgetting all these things? No, please, एक second है ना. The Constitution, original Constitution, did not have these D, E, F, G clauses.
My lord.
These are imposed by a dictator, correct or not correct?
Correct.
Why you give it no importance? Either say we support dictatorships. Hang on, ऐसे नहीं होगा ना. We can, जरा बात तो सुन लेना. आइन का तकद्दुस उसी वक्त होगा जब हम उसका तकद्दुस मानेंगे, या हम कहते हैं हम बंदूक का तकद्दुस मानते हैं। जब पार्लियामेंट में जो 326 लोग बैठ करके कानून साजी कर रहे हैं, जो आप 326 से पहले कम होते थे, वो एक कानून साजी कर लें और उन्होंने ये किताब हमको बना के दे दी, और फिर एक शख्स टहलते हुए आते हैं, वो कहते हैं बाहर जाए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मैंने एब्डो कर दिया, तमाम पाकिस्तान के सियासतदान इंक्लूडिंग माय फादर वाज disqualified because he had the mistake of helping make Pakistan. But a general, you prevailed over everyone. You are not even attending the constitutional thing. You are supporting everything done by a military dictator, having precedence. Now show us this thing. Then the next dictator comes along and says, no, I introduce graduate condition. The third dictator comes along and says, no, I introduce Sadiq, Amin, righteous, profligate. अगर देखें एक कॉन्सेप्ट है मुनाफिक का कॉन्सेप्ट, मुनाफिक काफिर से बुरा होता है मेरे हिसाब से। काफिर को तो पता नहीं रोशनी उस है नहीं, काफिर कुफर का मतलब है खिलाफ, ठीक है, उसको पता नहीं। मुनाफिक को पता हो क्या करता है, अपने ऊपर क्यों नहीं कंडीशन डाल दी है कि I will not be non-profligate, अमीन वगैरह, ये चीजें पिक एंड चूज करना, किसी को उठाना, किसी को फिट करना, ये बातें अब why are you not attending the larger constitutional debate? You're treating this as a civil suit. You are saying a disqualification by a military dictator, a rapist can contest elections, but a person who makes a mistake, उसमें ये भी लिखा है कि कितने तोले सोना आपके पास है, ठीक है, आपने 6 लिख दिया, मालूम आपके पास 8 थे, तो यू आर डिस्क्वालिफाइड। आप आज हमारे सामने खड़े हुए हैं, हम आपको होल्ड करते हैं कि बुरा ना माने कि यू आर अ प्रोफ्लिगेट, यू वेस्टेड द टाइम ऑफ द कोर्ट। कल आप इलेक्शन में तक नॉमिनेशन पेपर आएंगे, आप कहेंगे देखिए ये जजमेंट लगा हुआ है सुप्रीम कोर्ट, ही इज डिक्लेयर्ड बाय द कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ टू बी अ प्रोफ्लिगेट, ही वेस्टेड द टाइम ऑफ द कोर्ट, यू आर डिस्क्वालिफाइड। So let's not forget small things. We start focusing on small things. Let's look at the larger picture. Look at the context in which these amendments were brought into the Constitution. Look at Article 225. उसको आपने totally नजरअंदाज कर दिया है. Except you're not even saying a word about Article 225. It says no court shall. वहाँ आप कहेंगे सुप्रीम कोर्ट नो कोर्ट में नहीं आएगा डेफिनेशन में, यहाँ कोर्ट में आ जाएगा। तो ये आप जरा टोटलिटी में बात कीजिए।
Let me submit. I was referring to, if you look at the amendments, 62(1)(f) was amended in.
First one, is it a good amendment?
It was amended.
I'm asking your opinion.
I'm talking about 18th amendment.
I'm asking your opinion.
85 not good amendment, but
62(1)(f) is good.
I'm talking about 18th amendment.
क्या उसको छोड़ दीजिए, अमेंडमेंट भी तो गन पॉइंट्स पे हुए हैं, क्या बातें कर रहे हैं? वो लोगों ने कहा कि चलिए आधी जमहूरियत आ जाए पूरी से तो बेहतर है। प्लीज आप देखें ना, मिलिट्री डिक्टेटर्स के सामने आप लोग कोई बात ही नहीं करते हैं।
आप सवाल का जवाब दें, खुद में फिर जो कहना चाहते कहें, जो सवाल का जवाब आप पहले दो।
I agree with you. I am against dictatorship. I am for the constitution.
Reflect this in your arguments.
What I am submitting is, when they amended and added a law, court of law, declaration by court of law in 62. At the same time, they added 10A.
ये तो पार्लियामेंट ने किया,
ये भी पार्लियामेंट ने किया 18th amendment में।
18th amendment is a validation. Please don't equate it with amendment thought out by the parliamentarians. जितनी भी आप उनको हकारत की नजर से देखेंगे, वो हमारे elected representative होते हैं, ठीक है, उनकी cumulative wisdom है. Surely it prevails over the wisdom of a military dictator.
My lord.
So why are you disregarding the wisdom? Why is the constitution being just, if it's a dictator, we cannot touch it? नहीं, ये नहीं करें ना, आप मजीद पॉइंट आर्ग्यू करें।
I am submitting my arguments on the basis
अच्छा,
of...
नेक्स्ट पॉइंट बताएं, क्योंकि you're not making headway now, you stopped.
My lord, my next point is that when they brought in amendment in section 232 of the Election Act, during the parliamentary debate, it was admitted that Article 62(1)(f) is silent regarding period of disqualification. I have appended a copy of Senate's proceedings, which says,
Well, we don't need to. It's obvious it's silent.
it's silent.
Yes.
Now my submission is, once they have admitted that it's silent, they have to bring in constitutional amendment.
So let's put it another way.
My lord.
Suppose we say 232 is not good law,
My lord.
and we also hold that judgment of the Supreme Court is also not good law.
My lord.
Then there is no disqualification at all, not even for a day.
My lord.
Yes?
Yes. Then they have to amend
So you
the
say the
constitution.
wisdom of 5 gentlemen sitting in this courtroom overpowers the wisdom of 326 parliamentarians sitting on in the next building. For what reason? Give us a reason. Give us some logical reason. I mean, just because it said so. That's all.
Parliament had the power to fix 5 years in Article 62(1)(f),
बात नहीं समझ
but they
रहे हैं।
did not.
अच्छा, चले आगे बढ़े ना, थोड़ा डिबेट को आगे ले चलें।
देखिए अगर इंटेंशन होती है लेजिस्लेचर की, वकील साहब, अगर लेजिस्लेचर की इंटेंशन होती कि कोई सजा होनी चाहिए, जैसे 63 में बताया गया कि अगर किसी भी ऑफेंस में कन्विक्शन हो, कन्विक्शन पूरी होने के, सेंटेंस पूरी होने के बाद 5 years और 3 मुख्तलिफ बताए, 5 years 3 years, उन्होंने पीरियड बता दिया। तो क्या इनका इंटेंशन नहीं था कि यहाँ पे पीरियड ना बताने का, सिंपली इट इज
If they had the number and the intention, they would have expressly mentioned it in 62(1)(f), like they did it.
why not we should consider it as positive कि इसके कोई सजा ही नहीं है, पर कह दिया कि फलां शख्स झूठा है, बस दैट्स ऑल। या प्रिज्यूम किया जाए हर शख्स सच्चा है अनलेस प्रूफ टू द कंट्री, ये अल्फाज भी लिखे हैं, हर शख्स। इफ यू लुक, क्यों प्रिज्यूम करें कि वो झूठा है जब तक वो साबित।
Constitution is silent about period of disqualification, which constitutionally
Next point पे चले ना, you are repeating yourself now.
So your second
A
argument.
lot of people to be heard. Let us not speed it up,
that
please.
only constitutional amendment would have done this.
that is my
आगे
submission,
चलो.
only constitutional
We understood
amendment.
that.
And I support this argument with this thing as well. In Article 62, they have given various period of disqualification, 3 years, 5 years, 4 years, depending on the gravity as Parliament thought at that time.
Repeat yourself. ये आपने repeat yourself. I didn't understand.
Article 63 has given 3 different periods of.
No, I can just pose you a question. If in Samiullah Baloch, I'm writing now the judgment of Samiullah Baloch, imagine it. And I say that 62(1)(f) does not prescribe the period of disqualification. However, I will see the other provisions of the Constitution and say that since for treason it's only 5 years disqualification, I think this is a lesser crime and I put 2 years. Suppose it would be as valid a judgment as Samiullah Baloch, correct? For no logical reasoning. It is what I decide. I have to base my decision, a constitutional interpretation on some logic. Either you should say I would be wrong in saying 2 years. Because you just picked out a number from your head. It could be 3, it could be 4, it could be lifetime. Please address this query.
There could be only 2 possibilities.
No, why not 2 years? I write Samiullah Baloch and say 2 years.
It's not written there.
Exactly, so it's all up to do with my mind.
But it's
Nothing
not
to do with the
written-
Constitution.
It's not written otherwise as well.
चलिए मगर ये आप इसको अटेंड करें ना इस
If
बात
it's
को.
silent, that means
Understood your point.
until it's in field.
चलिए अगला पॉइंट या फिर हम किसी और से पूछें.
This larger bench can revisit its own judgment. This larger bench can revisit its own judgment. Let's reinterpret.
Election Amendment Act 2023. Now my submission is if we are in 187, then I can object on the vires of Election Act 2023. If we are only in appeal, then we cannot argue on the vires of the Election Act.
आप तो वैसे चैलेंज नहीं करते उसे. You have not challenged worries of 232.
That's not the question of worries of 232 is not.
Nobody has challenged the worries in the High Court or in this court.
My lord, it has been challenged in the High Court. I've given you the
It has not
petition.
been decided yet.
हमारे सामने नहीं है.
My submission is, if we, because my lords have combined all these appeals along with section 194(3) petition. So my understanding, the way I
Your
read the
understanding should be found, the answer is in the order, the first order that we passed. Since election are scheduled for 8th of February, one returning officer will do one thing, another officer will do one thing. There should be clarity. It's as simple as that. Now, if you want utter total confusion in Pakistan, that every constituency, one returning officer is saying, I will follow 232, another returning officer will say, I will follow Samiullah Baloch. So we have stated very we want clarity, one way or the other. The returning officer is not a competent lawyer as yourself, it's maybe a bureaucrat, so give him clarity. That's all we are doing.
That's what I'm submitting before my lordship. While you are hearing this, you have also issued notices under section 27, order 27A to all the Advocate General and Attorney General.
The world, to the whole of Pakistan, we issued notice.
You might as well decide upon the virus of this thing.
नहीं वो भी कर लेंगे, आप बता दें अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है.
That is my submission.
कह रहे अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल.
मैं कहता हूँ इस अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल. I rely on Bas Mohammed judgment.
एक बार बताएं दे कि आप कह रहे हैं कि ये क्लियर पार्लियामेंट ने खामोशी इख्तियार की 62(1)(f) में कुछ बताया नहीं, उसको हमने इंटरप्रेट किया. अब हमारे बाद पार्लियामेंट ने इंटरप्रेट कर दिया. क्या पार्लियामेंट का विजडम हमसे ज्यादा है या कम है एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजन को एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए, इंटरप्रेट करने के लिए? किसके इख्तियारात ज्यादा ये बताएं.
Parliament has to frame, my lord has to interpret.
They have framed the law. They have framed the law.
They had to
interpret the constitutional provision. उन्होंने कह दिया कि ये हमारा wisdom था.
They had to frame it under 239, 238, 39. They had to bring in constitutional amendment.
आप लिखा दे बास काकड़ की citation दिखाए 2012.
PLD 2012 Supreme Court 923.
And what paragraph are you relying for the
Para 50.
for declaring the law ultra vires?
Declaring the law ultra vires. So
लेजिस्लेटिव एंट्रीज के ऊपर वो केस है, उसके अंदर तो उन्होंने होल्ड किया है कि लेजिस्लेटिव एंट्रीज जो.
Thank you. Anything else? Huh? Sorry, we are giving you a tough time, but we want sometimes tough questions help us resolve our own difficulties we are having in understanding things.
My lord,
Thank you
very much for giving patience.
Nani, thank you very much.